I should have known something was wrong when my husband told me to stop being a drama queen while I was burning up with fever on our bathroom floor. My name is Penny, and I'm the kind of person who plans birthday parties 6 months in advance and keeps spreadsheets for grocery shopping. Some people call it controlling. I call it caring. For 2 years, I'd been squirreling away money from my marketing job, skipping lunches, buying generic everything, even selling my grandmother's jewelry, all to give my family the vacation of a lifetime. Babe, you sure about this resort? Damien had asked when I first showed him the brochure. It's pretty expensive. It's all inclusive, I'd said, practically bouncing. Your parents have never been anywhere like this. Neither has Lexus. And after the year you've had at work, he'd kissed my forehead then. You're too good to us. That was 8 months ago. Now, the night before our flight to paradise, I was shivering under 3 blankets while my temperature spiked to 103. Penny, seriously, you need to pull yourself together, Damien said, standing in the doorway like I might contaminate him. We leave in 12 hours. I can barely stand up, I whispered, my throat feeling like sandpaper. It's probably just stress. You've been obsessing over this trip for weeks. My mother's voice carried from downstairs. Is she still being dramatic up there? Mom's right, Lexus chimed in. You always get sick when something important happens. Remember my graduation? I wanted to remind her that I'd had food poisoning from the restaurant she'd insisted we try, but speaking felt impossible. Instead, I watched my family gather in the hallway outside our bedroom, discussing me like I wasn't there. The doctor said it could be the flu, I managed. The flu? My father finally spoke up. Penny, that's contagious. Exactly, my mother said, stepping back dramatically. We can't risk getting sick, not when we've been planning this for months. 2 years, I corrected weakly. I've been planning this for 2 years. Damien sat on the edge of the bed, but not close enough to touch me. Look, maybe you should stay home. Rest up. We'll take lots of pictures. The room went silent except for my labored breathing. Stay home? The words came out as a croak. The words, "It makes sense," Lexus said, already warming to the idea. "You'd just be miserable anyway. And honestly, you've been so stressed about every little detail, maybe you need the break from vacation planning." My mother nodded. Plus, someone should watch the house, and you know how you get about germs on planes. I don't get weird about germs, I said, but they weren't listening. We could upgrade your room, Damien said to his parents, since Penny won't be using it. Oh, that's perfect, my mother clapped. I saw they have those suites with the private pools. I stared at them, my fever addled brain trying to process what was happening, the vacation I'd sacrificed everything for, the trip I'd planned down to the minute, and they were redistributing my room like I'd never existed. But I paid for everything, I whispered. And we're grateful, Damien said, patting my leg through the blanket. This is probably better anyway. You can recover properly. The resort has a no refund policy for illness, my father added helpfully. I checked. Of course he had. We should probably pack, Lexus said. Early flight and all. They filed out one by one. My mother paused at the door. Try to get some sleep, honey, and maybe clean up a bit while we're gone. The house is a disaster. The house was a disaster because I'd been running around for weeks, confirming reservations, buying everyone new clothes for the trip, and making sure every detail was perfect. Damien came back an hour later with a glass of water and 2 Tylenol. You'll thank us for this, he said. Trust me. I wanted to ask him what I'd done to deserve this. I wanted to remind him about the second job I'd taken last Christmas, the vacation days I'd saved, the credit card I'd maxed out for his parents' first class upgrades. Instead, I closed my eyes and listened to them laugh downstairs, planning their upgraded accommodations in my absence. At 5 a.m., I heard suitcases rolling across the hardwood floor, car doors slamming, the engine starting. They left without saying goodbye. The first day passed in a haze of fever dreams and tissues. I'd drag myself to the kitchen for water, then collapse back into bed, my phone buzzing with notifications I couldn't bring myself to check. By day 2, my temperature had dropped enough that I could think clearly. That's when I made the mistake of looking at my messages. The group chat was called Paradise Squad, a name Lexus had insisted on. Damien. Landed safely. Resort is incredible. Wish you were here, babe. Mom, the suite is gorgeous. 3 bedrooms and our own infinity pool. You would have loved the spa. Dad, breakfast buffet has everything, even that fancy coffee you like. Lexus, OMG. The beach is perfect. Getting my tan on. I scrolled through dozens of messages, photos of champagne glasses, videos of Lexus doing cartwheels on white sand, my parents posing by their private pool. Then I saw it. A group photo from dinner the night before, all 4 of them raising their glasses in a toast, huge smiles, the ocean sunset behind them. The caption made my stomach drop. Damien, thinking of you. The laughing emoji reactions from my family felt like slaps. My phone buzzed with a private message from my mother. Mom, hope you're feeling better. Try not to be too upset about missing this. There will be other vacations. Other vacations? With what money? I'd emptied my savings account for this trip. Mom. Also, the resort charged us extra for late check in yesterday. Something about your booking being changed? Can you look into that when you're feeling up to it? I stared at the message. Late check in? I'd confirmed everything twice. I'd even called the resort the week before to verify arrival times. Me. What do you mean late check in? I booked early arrival. Mom. Well, something went wrong. It's fine. We handled it. Just saying you might want to double check your planning next time. My planning, like this was somehow my fault. Another message popped up from Lexus. Lexus. BTW. The couple's massage you booked for you and Damien. I took Mom instead. Hope that's okay. You weren't using it anyway. My couple's massage. The one I'd specifically requested for our anniversary, which was next week. The one that cost $400. Me. That was for me and Damien. Lexus. Yeah, but you're not here, and Mom deserves to be pampered. She's been so stressed about your whole situation. My whole situation. Being sick was now a situation I'd created. The messages kept coming. Dad sent a video of himself at the golf course I'd booked for him and Damien. Thanks for setting this up, Penny. 18 holes of paradise. Damien posted a selfie from the rooftop bar. Living my best life. Thanks to my amazing wife for making this possible. The comments from his friends made me nauseous. Lucky man. Wife goals. When's she joining you? Damien replied. She's taking some personal time at home. Sometimes you need space to appreciate what you have. Space to appreciate what I have. I was home alone with the flu, not on some spiritual journey. My phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Mrs. Reynolds? This is Yusuf from Paradise Cove Resort. I'm calling about your reservation. My heart stopped. Is everything okay? Is my family okay? Oh, yes, they're fine. I'm actually calling because there seems to be some confusion about your booking. You're listed as the primary guest, but you're not here, and there have been some requests for upgrades and changes that require your authorization. What kind of changes? Well, your husband requested to move to the presidential suite. Your sister wanted to add several spa treatments, and your parents asked about extending their stay by 3 days. I sat up in bed, my head spinning. Did they mention that I'm sick? That's why I'm not there? No, ma'am. They said you'd decided to stay home for personal reasons. Personal reasons. Not the flu. Not being abandoned by my family. Personal reasons. I see, I said quietly. I wanted to check with you directly before approving any additional charges. The presidential suite alone would be an extra $800 per night. $800 per night for 3 more nights. Can I can I call you back? Of course. My direct number is 550-147. Ask for Yusuf. I hung up and stared at my phone. Another message had come in while I was talking. Mom, the concierge is being difficult about some upgrades. Can you call them? They said they need to speak to the person who made the booking. So annoying. So annoying. My family spending money I didn't have was annoying to her. I scrolled back through the photos. My mother in a designer cover up I'd never seen before, Lexus with professional looking nails that definitely weren't done at home, Damien wearing a new shirt. They were shopping. With what money? My phone buzzed again. This time it was a photo from Damien, him and my family at what looked like an expensive restaurant, bottles of wine on the table, everyone dressed up. Damien, celebrating your recovery. Even though you're not here, we know you'd want us to enjoy ourselves. Celebrating my recovery. I was still coughing up phlegm and could barely taste food. I looked around my empty house. Dishes in the sink from the soup I'd tried to eat yesterday, tissues everywhere, the vacation clothes I'd bought still hanging in my closet with tags on. My phone rang again. Yusuf? Mrs. Reynolds, I'm sorry to bother you again, but your family is asking about charging room service to the room. The bill is already quite substantial. How substantial? Well, with the spa treatments, the restaurant charges, and the bar tabs, it's approaching $3,000 in extras. $3,000 in 2 days. Mrs. Reynolds, are you there? I was there. I was very much there. I'm here, I said to Yusuf, my voice steadier than I felt. Can you hold on just a moment? I muted the call and opened Instagram. Damien had posted a story 20 minutes ago, a video of him doing shots with my father while Lexus and my mother cheered them on. The caption read, When the wife's away, the family will play. The wife's away, like I was on some girls' trip instead of home sick with a fever. I unmuted the call. Yusuf, I need to ask you something. What exactly did my family tell you about why I'm not there? They said you had a last minute change of heart, that you decided you needed some alone time and wanted them to enjoy the vacation without you. A change of heart. Not the flu, not being too sick to travel. A change of heart. I see. And the $3,000 in charges. What does that include? Let me pull up the account. Premium spa packages, top shelf liquor, the specialty restaurant every night, room service, shopping charges at the resort boutique, golf lessons, parasailing, jet ski rentals. Each item hit like a punch. I'd budgeted for the all inclusive package. I'd specifically chosen all inclusive so there wouldn't be surprise charges. Yusuf, when I booked this trip, I selected the all inclusive option. Yes, you did. But all inclusive has limits. Premium alcohol, specialty restaurants, and activities like jet skiing aren't included. Your family has been quite enthusiastic about the upgrades. My phone buzzed with another message. Lexus. OMG. Penny, you have to see this massage therapist. I booked us both for tomorrow. It's only $300 each. Only $300 each. $600 for massages. Yusuf, I need to make some changes to the reservation. Of course. What can I help you with? I stood up and walked to my kitchen where I'd left all my vacation planning folders. 2 years of research, price comparisons, and careful budgeting. I'd called this resort 6 times to confirm every detail. I want to revoke the charging privileges for everyone except myself. I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? I want to remove the ability for my family to charge anything to the room. No more spa treatments, no more premium restaurants, no more activities, just the basic all inclusive package I originally paid for. Silence on the other end. Mrs. Reynolds. That's that's certainly your right as the primary guest, but your family has already made reservations for tonight and tomorrow, the spa appointments, the specialty restaurant. Cancel them. All of them? I thought about Damien's post. The wife's away. The family will play. All of them. And the presidential suite upgrade they requested for tonight. Absolutely not. They can stay in the original rooms I booked. Mrs. Reynolds, if I may ask, is everything all right? I laughed and it came out bitter. Everything's perfect, Yusuf. My family is having the time of their lives on my dime while I'm homesick with the flu they abandoned me with. Oh, his voice softened. I'm sorry to hear that. It's fine. Can you make those changes? Yes, but I should warn you. They're not going to be happy when they find out. I'm sure they won't be. Would you like me to explain the situation to them, or would you prefer to handle it yourself? I thought about this. About my mother's messages blaming me for booking errors. About Lexus taking my anniversary massage. About Damien posting videos like I was some absent wife who chose to stay home. Actually, Yusuf, don't tell them anything yet. Just when they try to charge something and it gets declined, tell them they need to speak with the primary guest. That's you. That's me. And if they ask why the charges are being declined, tell them the truth. The person who paid for the vacation needs to authorize any additional expenses. I could hear him typing. Done. Is there anything else? Actually, yes. Can you tell me what the total bill would be if I let them continue spending like this? More typing. Based on their current rate of spending and the reservations they've made for the rest of the week, approximately $8,000 in additional charges. $8,000 on top of the $12,000 I'd already spent on the original booking. Thank you, Yusuf. You've been very helpful. Mrs. Reynolds? For what it's worth, I'm sorry your family isn't there taking care of you while you're sick. After I hung up, I sat in my kitchen and waited. It didn't take long. My phone exploded with messages. Dad. Penny, something's wrong with the room charges. They won't let us book dinner at the steakhouse. Mom. The spa canceled my facial. They said something about authorization. This is embarrassing. Lexus. UTF. Penny, my massage got canceled and they're being super rude about it. Fix this. Damien. Babe, call the resort. There's some mix up with our account. They're saying we can't charge anything. I screenshot all the messages and sent them to my best friend Sarah with a text. Guess what happened when I cut off their spending spree? She called immediately. Penny, are you serious? They're actually mad at you? Apparently, I'm supposed to fix it from my sick bed. Don't you dare call that resort back. Oh, I'm not calling to fix it. What do you mean? I looked at my phone, which was now ringing with a call from Damien. I mean, I'm just getting started. I let Damien's call go to voicemail. Then I turned my phone off completely. For the first time in 2 days, I felt hungry. Actually hungry, not just forcing myself to eat soup. I made scrambled eggs with cheese, the good cheese I'd been saving for a special occasion. While they cooked, I remembered something. Last Christmas, when I'd gotten food poisoning at Lexus's graduation dinner. Penny, you always do this, my mother had said while I was throwing up in the restaurant bathroom. You get sick at the worst possible times. It's not on purpose, Mom. Well, it feels like it is. Lexus has been planning this celebration for months. I'd been planning it. I'd made the reservations, bought Lexus's dress, even arranged for her favorite flowers at the table. But when the seafood made me violently ill, somehow I was the one ruining everything. The eggs were perfect. I ate them slowly, tasting every bite. My landline rang. I'd forgotten I even had one. Penny? It was my mother, her voice sharp. Why is your cell phone off? I'm resting, like you all suggested. Well, we need you to call the resort. There's been some terrible mistake with our account. What kind of mistake? They're saying we can't charge anything. The concierge was incredibly rude to your father. He tried to book a fishing excursion and they embarrassed him in front of everyone. I took another bite of eggs. That's strange. It's more than strange. It's unacceptable. You need to fix this immediately. Mom, I'm still sick. You sound fine to me. I'm not fine. I have the flu, remember? The reason I couldn't come on the vacation I planned and paid for? Silence. Penny, don't be dramatic. We're having a crisis here. What kind of crisis? We can't do anything. No spa treatments, no nice dinners, no activities. We're stuck with basic resort food and the regular pool. Like, like regular people. Regular people. The horror. Maybe you could pay for the extras yourselves? With what money? You know your father's on a fixed income. And Damien's between jobs right now. Damien was between jobs? Since when? When did Damien lose his job? He didn't lose it. He's taking a break. He's been so stressed. A break? For how long? Penny, that's not the point. The point is, you need to call the resort and fix this mess. I hung up. My phone stayed off for 3 hours. When I finally turned it back on, I had 17 missed calls and 43 text messages. The group chat was chaos. Lexus, this is literally the worst vacation ever. We can't do anything. Dad, Penny, please call. The resort manager was very unprofessional. Damien. Babe, seriously, call me back. This is getting ridiculous. Mom. I'm humiliated. The spa receptionist treated me like I was some kind of scammer. Then I saw something that made me sit up straight. Lexus. BTW, guess who we ran into at the bar? Kaya from Damien's college, small world. Kaya, Damien's college girlfriend, the one he'd stayed friends with on social media, the one who liked every single one of his posts within minutes. I scrolled through the messages, looking for more details. Damien. Yeah, crazy coincidence. She's here with some girlfriends. Lexus. She looks amazing. Remember when you guys dated? So funny how life works out. Mom. Such a sweet girl. She asked about you, Penny. I bet she did. My phone rang. Sarah. Please tell me you're not caving to their demands. I'm not. But Sarah, guess who's at the resort? Who? Kaya, Damien's ex. The one who's always commenting on his Instagram? That's the one. Oh, this is rich. So let me get this straight. Your husband abandons you while you're sick, goes on the vacation you paid for, and runs into his ex girlfriend? Apparently. And now they're all texting you, demanding you fix their spending problems so they can continue partying? Pretty much. Penny, you need to see this. See what? Check Damien's Instagram right now. I opened the app with shaking hands. Damien's latest story was from 2 hours ago. A group photo at the resort bar. Damien, my parents, Lexus, and three women I didn't recognize. One of them was stunning. Long dark hair, perfect smile, designer dress. That had to be Kaya. But it was the next photo that made my blood run cold. Damien and Kaya, just the two of them, sitting close at the bar. Her hand was on his arm. They were both laughing. The caption read, Reconnecting with old friends. Sarah, are you seeing this? I screenshot everything. Penny, I'm so sorry. I stared at the photo. My husband on the vacation I'd sacrificed everything for, getting cozy with his ex girlfriend while I was homesick. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Hi, Penny. This is Kaya. Got your number from Lexus. So sorry you couldn't make the trip. Damien's been telling me all about your situation. Hope you feel better soon. My situation. There was that phrase again. I screenshot the message and sent it to Sarah. Oh, hell no, she said immediately. What are you going to do? I looked at the photo again. Damien's hand was resting on the back of Kaya's chair. I'm going to call Yusuf. The resort manager? Yeah, I think it's time to make some more changes to their vacation. Yusuf, it's Penny again. Mrs. Reynolds, how are you feeling? Much better, actually. I wanted to ask you about something. That photo my husband posted on social media, the one at your bar with the woman who's not his wife, is that normal behavior for your resort? A pause. I'm sorry, I don't follow social media accounts of our guests. Of course not. But hypothetically, if a married man was getting very friendly with another woman while his sick wife was at home and that man was charging expensive drinks to a room his wife paid for, what would you think about that? Hypothetically, I'd think that man was making some very poor choices. Hypothetically, Mrs. Reynolds, is there something specific I can help you with? I pulled up Damien's Instagram again. He'd posted another story 30 minutes ago. This time it was a video of him and Kaya dancing. Her arms were around his neck. Actually, yes. I want to make sure my family understands exactly what this vacation is costing. How so? Can you itemize every single charge they've attempted to make, even the ones that were declined? Certainly. Would you like me to email that to you? Yes, but I also want you to present it to them in person today. Present it to them? Call it a courtesy check in, let them know exactly how much they've tried to spend, and remind them that any additional charges need to be approved by the primary guest. That's unusual, but not unreasonable. And Yusuf, when you do this, make sure they understand that the primary guest is currently at home, sick with the flu, and unable to authorize any additional expenses. I understand. One more thing. Can you tell me what their reaction is when you explain this to them? You want me to report back? I want to know if they show any concern for the person who's paying for their vacation. After I hung up, I made myself a proper lunch, grilled cheese and tomato soup, comfort food I actually had an appetite for. While I ate, my phone stayed mercifully quiet. Then, at exactly 2:47 p.m., it exploded. Lexus. Penny, what the hell? Mom, this is humiliating. The manager just cornered us by the pool. Dad, very unprofessional behavior from the resort staff. Damien, call me, now. I screenshot everything and sent it to Sarah with the message, Phase 2, complete. She called immediately. What did you do? I had the resort manager explain their spending to them, in public. Oh my god, you're evil. I love it. It gets better. Guess what Damien posted 20 minutes before the manager showed up? What? A video of him dirty dancing with Kaya. No. Yes. And guess what he posted right after the manager left? I refreshed Instagram. Damien's latest story was a selfie with a caption that made my stomach turn. When life gives you lemons, make margaritas. Some people just don't know how to have fun. Some people, meaning me. Sarah, he's posting about me, about how I don't know how to have fun. While you're homesick. While I'm homesick with the flu, I caught taking care of his laundry and meal prep before the trip. My phone rang. Damien. Don't answer it, Sarah said. I'm not. It went to voicemail. Then rang again. And again. Finally, a text. Penny, you're embarrassing us. People are staring. Fix this. I was embarrassing them. Another message came in, this one from an unknown number. I opened it and nearly dropped my phone. It was a photo, Damien and Kaya in what looked like a hotel room. Not the resort room, a different room. They were sitting on a bed, and Kaya was wearing what appeared to be Damien's shirt. The message was from Kaya. Thought you should know what your husband's been up to. Sorry, girl. Sarah, I need to call you back. Why? What happened? Kaya just sent me a photo. What kind of photo? I stared at the image. Damien's wedding ring was clearly visible on the nightstand behind them. The kind that ends marriages. I hung up and immediately called Yusuf back. Mrs. Reynolds? Yusuf, I need to ask you something confidential. Do you have security cameras in your hotel? Of course. Why? If a guest was seen leaving the resort with someone who wasn't their spouse and then returning the next morning, would that be something you'd notice? Mrs. Reynolds, I can't discuss the activities of specific guests. Even if that guest was charging the room to someone else's credit card? A long pause. What exactly are you asking me? I'm asking if my husband left the resort last night with another woman. I I can't confirm that. But you're not denying it. Mrs. Reynolds, perhaps we should discuss what you'd like to do about the remainder of their stay. Actually, yes, let's discuss that. How many days do they have left? 3 days, checking out Sunday morning. And what would happen if I canceled the reservation entirely? They'd need to find alternative accommodations or pay for the remaining nights themselves. How much would that cost them? For the rooms they're currently in, about $800 per night. I looked at the photo again. Damien's smug smile. Kaya wearing his shirt. My wedding ring money funding their affair. Yusef, don't cancel anything yet, but I want you to do me one more favor. What's that? I want you to prepare their final bill. Everything they've charged, everything they've tried to charge, and what they'd owe if they had to pay for the rest of their stay themselves. That's quite a substantial amount. I'm counting on it. Sunday morning, checkout day. I woke up feeling completely normal for the first time in a week. No fever, no congestion, no body aches, just pure, crystalline clarity about what I needed to do. My phone had been quiet since yesterday evening. Too quiet. I called Yusuf at exactly 9 a.m. Mrs. Reynolds, perfect timing. Your family is actually here at the front desk right now. Are they? Yes, and there seems to be some confusion about the final bill. What kind of confusion? Well, they're insisting there's been a mistake. They seem to think everything should be covered under the all inclusive package you purchased. I could hear voices in the background. My mother's shrill tone, Lexus whining, Damien's fake charming voice trying to smooth things over. Yusuf, can you put me on speaker? Are you sure? Absolutely. I heard the click, then suddenly my family's voices became crystal clear. Completely unacceptable, my mother was saying. We were told this was all inclusive. Ma'am, as I've explained, the all inclusive package covers standard amenities, the premium spa treatments, top shelf alcohol, specialty restaurants, and activities you've enjoyed are additional charges. But we weren't told that, Lexus snapped. Actually, Yusuf said smoothly, I have Mrs. Reynolds on the line. Perhaps she can clarify the situation. Dead silence. Penny? Damien's voice suddenly much smaller. Hi, everyone. Having a good trip? Penny, there's been some kind of mistake with the bill, my father said quickly. What kind of mistake, Dad? They're trying to charge us thousands of dollars for things that should be included. Yusuf, can you read them the itemized list? Certainly. Premium spa package for 4 people, $200. Specialty restaurant dining for 6 nights, $890. Top shelf liquor and cocktails, $650. Golf lessons and equipment rental, $400. Jet ski and parasailing, $550. Shopping charges at resort boutique, 380. Room service, 290. And the presidential suite upgrade for 2 nights, $1,600. That's almost $6,000, I said helpfully. Penny, we didn't know, Damien started. Didn't know what? That champagne costs more than beer? That the spa treatments you've been posting about all week weren't free? You're being unreasonable, my mother cut in. We thought everything was covered. Everything I paid for was covered. The basic, all inclusive package, the one you all said I was obsessing over when I spent months researching it. So, what are you saying? Lexus demanded. I'm saying you have two choices: pay the bill yourselves, or I can cover it and we can discuss repayment when you get home. Repayment? My mother's voice went up an octave. Penny, we're family. Are we? The silence stretched out. What's that supposed to mean? Damien asked. It means family doesn't abandon each other when they're sick. Family doesn't mock the person paying for their vacation. And family definitely doesn't. I stopped myself. Not yet. Doesn't what? Damien pressed. Yusef, are they still there? Yes, Mrs. Reynolds. Can you give them some privacy to discuss their payment options? I'll hold. I heard muffled voices, then Yusuf came back on the line. They've stepped aside to talk. Mrs. Reynolds, I have to ask, are you planning to cover this bill? What do you think I should do, Yusuf? Honestly, I think your family has taken advantage of your generosity. That's putting it mildly. The woman who's been with your husband, she checked out this morning, separately. My heart stopped. Separately? Different room, paid for her own stay. She left about an hour ago. So Kaya was gone, but the evidence of what happened wasn't. Yusef, I need you to do something for me. What's that? When my family comes back, I want you to tell them that I've decided not to cover the additional charges. You want them to pay the full amount? I want them to understand what their choices cost. I could hear my family's voices getting louder in the background. They're coming back, Yusuf said quietly. Put me back on speaker. Click. Penny? My father's voice, strained. We've talked it over, and we think the best solution is for you to handle this bill, and we'll work something out later. No? No? I'm not covering your extra charges. Penny, be reasonable, Damien said. We don't have $6,000. Then you shouldn't have spent $6,000. This is ridiculous, Lexus exploded. You're our sister. And you're my family, the family that left me home alone with a 103-degree fever so you could party on my dime. We didn't abandon you, my mother protested. You were sick. We couldn't risk getting sick too. But you could risk spending money I didn't have. Penny, please. Damien's voice was getting desperate. Just this once, I'll pay you back. With what money? The job you don't have anymore? Silence. Oh, you didn't tell them about that? I continued. About how you've been unemployed for 3 months and didn't bother mentioning it? Penny, or should we talk about Kaya? The silence was deafening. Who's Kaya? My mother asked. Ask your son in law. Ask him about the woman he's been posting photos with all week. Ask him where he spent Thursday night. Penny, you're being paranoid, Damien said, but his voice shook. Am I? Yusef, can you confirm that a woman named Kaya checked out of the resort this morning? I can confirm that, yes. And can you confirm that she was not part of the original reservation I made? That's correct. Damien, my mother's voice was sharp. What is she talking about? I smiled, even though they couldn't see me. Yusuf, please give them their bill. All of it. And let them know they have 30 minutes to settle their account before security gets involved. Penny, wait! Damien started. But I'd already hung up. My phone immediately started ringing. I turned it off and went to make breakfast. The real fun was just beginning. I kept my phone off for 6 hours. When I finally turned it back on at 3 p.m., I had 67 missed calls and 89 text messages. The group chat was a war zone. Mom, Penny, we had to put the bill on 3 different credit cards. Dad, this is going to take us months to pay off. Lexus, I can't believe you did this to us. Damien, we need to talk. I'm coming home early. That last message was from 2 hours ago. I heard a car door slam in my driveway. Damien walked through the front door like he owned the place, dragging his suitcase behind him. His face was red, his hair disheveled, and he looked like he hadn't slept. What the hell was that, Penny? Hello to you too. How was your vacation? Don't play games with me. Do you have any idea what you just did? I sat on the couch, completely calm. I let you experience the real cost of your choices. $6,000, Penny. Your parents had to max out their credit cards. My parents? What about you? What did you put on your card? He looked away. I'm between jobs right now. For 3 months. 3 months, Damien, and you didn't tell me. I was going to. When? After you bankrupted us, paying for vacations we can't afford? It's not that simple. It's exactly that simple. You've been unemployed for 3 months, spending money we don't have, while I worked overtime to pay for a vacation you abandoned me for. You were sick. I had the flu. People get sick, Damien. Normal people take care of each other when that happens. He started pacing. You're making this into something it's not. Am I? Let's talk about Kaya. He froze. Sit down, Damien. Penny, sit down. He sat on the edge of the armchair, as far from me as possible. I pulled out my phone and opened the photo Kaya had sent me. Want to explain this? His face went white. Where did you get that? She sent it to me. Your girlfriend sent me a photo of you two in bed together. She's not my girlfriend. No? What is she then? It's complicated. Uncomplicated. He put his head in his hands. We ran into each other at the resort. We had some drinks. We talked about old times. And then you slept with her. It didn't mean anything. It meant something to me. Penny, I was upset. You weren't there. I was stressed about money, about work. So you cheated on me. It was one night that I paid for. One night in a resort room that I saved for 2 years to afford. He looked up at me, and for the first time, I saw something that might have been shame. I'm sorry. Are you? Or are you sorry you got caught? I'm sorry I hurt you, but not sorry you did it. He didn't answer. My phone rang. My mother. Answer it, I said. Put it on speaker. Penny, answer it, or I'm calling a divorce lawyer right now. He answered. Hi, Vivian. Damien. Thank God. Is Penny there? I'm here, Mom. Penny, what you did today was cruel and vindictive. Your father and I are devastated. Are you? We had to borrow money from your uncle to pay that bill. We're humiliated. You're humiliated? How do you think I felt when you left me home sick so you could party with my money? That's different. How is it different? You were sick. We couldn't help that. You could have stayed home. You could have postponed the trip. You could have shown 1 ounce of concern for the person who sacrificed everything to give you that vacation. We were grateful. No, you weren't. You were entitled. You took my generosity for granted, and when I got sick, you saw it as an inconvenience instead of an opportunity to take care of me. Penny, you're being dramatic. Am I? Let me ask you something, Mom. When was the last time you asked how I was feeling? Not about the resort bill, not about the vacation. About me. Silence. When was the last time any of you asked if I needed anything while I was sick? More silence. That's what I thought. Penny, my father's voice came through the phone. We love you. Do you? Because it doesn't feel like love. It feels like you love what I do for you. The vacations I plan, the money I spend, the problems I solve. That's not true. Isn't it? When's the last time you called me just to talk? When's the last time you invited me somewhere that I didn't have to pay for? I looked at Damien, who was staring at the floor. When's the last time my own husband took me on a date that didn't involve me planning and paying for everything? Penny, Damien started. Don't. Just don't. I stood up and walked to the kitchen, where I'd left a manila envelope on the counter. Damien, I have something for you. I handed him the envelope. What is this? Separation papers. I had them drawn up yesterday. He stared at the envelope like it might bite him. You're divorcing me over one mistake? I'm divorcing you over 3 years of mistakes. The unemployment you hid, the money you've been spending, the way you treat me like your personal assistant instead of your wife. And the cheating? The cheating was just the final straw. My mother's voice came through the phone, shrill and desperate. Penny, you can't break up the family over this. I'm not breaking up the family, Mom. I'm just done being the only one who cares about keeping it together. I took the phone from Damien. I need some time to think about what kind of relationship I want with all of you going forward. If I want one at all. Penny, please. I hung up. Damien was still holding the envelope. You really want me to sign this? I want you to read it. Think about it and decide if you want to fight for this marriage or if you want to make this easy. What if I want to fight for it? I looked at him, really looked at him. The man I'd married 3 years ago, who'd promised to love and cherish me in sickness and in health. Then you'd better figure out how to do that without my credit card. 3 weeks passed before anyone contacted me. I spent those weeks doing things I'd forgotten I enjoyed. I read entire books in one sitting. I took long baths without checking my phone. I cooked elaborate meals just for myself and ate them slowly, tasting every bite. Sarah came over every few days, bringing wine and updates from the outside world. Your sister's been posting about having to pick up extra shifts at work, she said, scrolling through Instagram. Very dramatic captions about family betrayal and learning who people really are. Ironic. Your mom's been calling my mom, asking if I know how you're doing. What did you tell her? That you're doing great, which seems to be true. It was true. I felt lighter than I had in years. The call came on a Tuesday evening. My father. Penny? It's Dad. Hi, Dad. Can we talk? In person? About what? About everything. About what happened. About what we did wrong. I almost said no, almost hung up, but something in his voice stopped me. Just you. Just me. He came over the next evening, looking older than I remembered. He sat at my kitchen table, hands folded like a child waiting to be scolded. Your mother doesn't know I'm here. I figured. She's she's not handling this well. The credit card bills, the stress. She had to go to the doctor yesterday. I felt a flicker of concern, then pushed it down. What's wrong with her? High blood pressure, anxiety. The doctor said it's stress related. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you? The question surprised me. Of course I am. I don't want mom to be sick. But you're not sorry about what you did. I looked at him carefully. Are you asking me to be? He was quiet for a long time. I keep thinking about that morning, he said finally. When we left, you were so sick and we walked out. Yes, you did. I told myself we were doing the right thing, that you needed rest, that we'd just be in the way. Did you believe that? I wanted to. It was easier than admitting we were being selfish. I poured him a cup of coffee. He wrapped his hands around the mug like he was cold. Your mother keeps saying you overreacted. That families forgive each other. That's what families do. What do you think? I think we forgot you were part of the family too. The honesty in his voice caught me off guard. Dad, let me finish. I think we got so used to you taking care of everything, planning everything, paying for everything, that we forgot you might need taking care of too. I felt tears starting and blinked them back. I think, he continued, that when you got sick, we saw it as an inconvenience instead of a chance to show you how much we appreciate everything you do. And now? Now, I think we learned what it costs when the person holding everything together decides to let go. My phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. This is Yusuf from Paradise Cove. Hope you're feeling better. Thought you'd want to know. Your family has been blacklisted from future stays. Management's decision. Take care. I showed the text to my father. He read it and winced. We really screwed up, didn't we? Yeah, Dad, you did. Can you forgive us? I don't know yet. He nodded. That's fair. But I'm glad you came. I'm glad you can see what really happened. What about Damien? I glanced at the divorce papers on my counter, signed and ready to file. What about him? Are you really getting divorced? He cheated on me, Dad, on a vacation I paid for while I was homesick with the flu. I know. I'm not saying you should forgive him. I'm asking if you want to. No, I don't. Then you shouldn't. We sat in comfortable silence for a while. Dad, I need you to understand something. What's that? I'm not the same person who planned that vacation. I'm not going to keep sacrificing myself to make everyone else happy. I know. If you want a relationship with me, it's going to be different. I'm not going to be the one who always gives and never receives. What would that look like? It would look like you calling to check on me when I'm sick. It would look like you planning something for my birthday instead of expecting me to plan my own party. It would look like treating me like a daughter, not a travel agent. He smiled sadly. We can do that. Can you? Because it's going to mean disappointing mom sometimes. And Lexus, when they expect me to fix their problems or pay for their wants, and I say no. We'll figure it out. My phone rang. Damien, I looked at my father. I should take this. Penny, Damien's voice was rough. I signed the papers. Okay. I also got a job. A real job. I start Monday. Good for you. I know it's too late, but I wanted you to know I'm trying to be better. I hope you are. For your sake. Not for us. There is no us anymore, Damien. I know. I wanted to say I'm sorry. Really sorry. Not just sorry I got caught. Thank you. Will you be okay? I looked around my quiet house at my father sitting at my table, at the life I was building for myself. Yeah, I think I will be. After I hung up, my father stood to leave. Dad? Yeah? Next time you want to take a vacation, plan it yourself. And pay for it yourself, he laughed. Deal! But if you want to come over for dinner sometime just to spend time together, I'd like that. I'd like that too. After he left, I sat on my couch with a cup of tea and opened my laptop. I had an email from my bank about the credit card I'd used for the resort. The balance was finally paid off. I closed the laptop and smiled. My weakness had been my generosity, but I was learning the difference between generosity and being used. And for the first time in years, I was looking forward to finding out who I was when I wasn't trying to make everyone else happy. The price of revenge had been steep: a marriage, a family dynamic, thousands of dollars in credit card debt. But the cost of staying silent would have been steeper. I was finally free.